Сегодня я собираюсь дать занятия в формате мастер-класс. То есть сегодня я собираюсь обучить вас нечто новому, тому, чему вы ранее не обучались. Сегодня все это для вас будет новое, но я надеюсь, вы среагируете хорошо. На самом деле мы чему-то новому сегодня научимся. Так, занятие пройдет в рамках дисциплины практический курс английского языка. Вот, и будет посвящено отработкам навыков письменной речи, а именно творческого письма. Сегодня я попытаюсь научить студентов писать стихи, японские стихи в жанре японского хайку, жанр, который стал очень популярен в последнее время по всему миру и на всех языках, а особенно среди англоязычных авторов. То есть сегодня мы говорим о том, что есть уже сложившаяся такая литературная традиция, как хайку на английском языке. Есть авторы интересные, их изучают. И поскольку я сама веду предмет не только практический курс английского языка, но и предмет межкультурная коммуникация и история английской литературы, сегодня на этом мастер-классе попытаюсь соединить эти два предмета и таким образом реализовать межпредметный подход, приемы социокультурного погружения с использованием интерактивных, проектных технологий, приемов, методов коворкинга. Да? Сегодня мы вместе будем создавать что-то новое, новый продукт. Искусство, да, искусство. Такой мастер-класс, я думаю, очень помогает развивать навыки письменной речи. Не только это, также повышает общекультурные знания студентов. Самое главное, помогает в раскрытии и развитии творческий потенциал. Потому что, как мы знаем, современные условия сейчас требуют того, чтобы мы не готовые знания давали студентам, да, а прививали им навыки сотрудничества, работать в команде и развивать проекты, разрабатывать творческие задания, что это очень, очень важно. Но поскольку предмет, который я читаю, который я веду, это практика английской речи, буду вести на английском языке, но у членов жюри я выдала краткое содержание того, что здесь будет происходить, то есть вы можете смотреть, чтобы вы не теряли нить происходящего, да? Все, времени у нас мало, я начну, наверное, да? Okay, so how to write haiku? Okay, so but before I start, I would like to speak just two couple words of Japanese culture and philosophy, okay? So here is the famous quote, do you recognize it? We know the sound, two hands clapping. So you were at Salinger, right? Good. So you know the sound of two hands clapping? So what is the sound?
It's
loud. But what is the sound of one hand clapping?
It's just silence or nothing, just silence.
Silence.
Yes.
More than silence. And what is silence in this meaning, in this aspect? What is silence? Is it the emptiness? Is it the absence of any sounds? What is it?
Silence is something unsaid.
Yes.
Okay, something unsaid, like what?
Like feelings or your
Unexpressed feelings.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Okay, and?
The words that you didn't manage to see.
The words that you didn't manage to say. Why? Okay. What more ideas? Regrets, were not expressed.
You were not able, because of your weakness, maybe to express, and in your old age, maybe you feel regret because of it.
Thank you, Dagmar. Thank you very much. Okay, so now you get the idea. So silence is not just the absence of sounds. It is filled with sounds. Just stimulate your imagination. Hear, listen with your heart, and you will hear, okay? So this is the essence of Japanese philosophy, Zen philosophy. Do you know what is Zen? Yes. You read Salinger? Yes. Good. Okay, good. So it's like also in paintings, Japanese paintings. So look at this, famous Japanese paintings. So there are no proper coloring, there is no proper light, there are no details. So the painter gives some strokes, a little bit color, and for the rest, it leaves you space for your imagination to imagine, to restore the picture yourself. Just stir up your imagination and see the details, the coloring, the light yourself. So the painter invites you to be co-painter, co-author of the work. You understand? So it gives space.
And the same with each?
Yes. Yes. So look, just strokes, nothing, no details, no coloring, just strokes, and space for your imagination.
Like
Right?
unfinished.
Unfinished. Yes, right. So next, so you get the idea.
Yes.
The same with the poetry. The same with haiku. So do you hear about? Did you ever hear? Sorry, what is? Did you ever hear about haiku?
Yeah. Yes, we heard. It's like we heard about it.
So what is it?
I don't know exactly what it is.
Huh?
I don't know exactly what it is.
A short poem.
With 3 lines.
3 lines.
Yes.
And that is it.
Yes.
3 lines.
Without any rhyme.
So no writing 3 lines. Okay, so easy. So I write 3 lines and I'm a poet. So it's so easy to be a poet. You just write 3 lines, no rhyming, so easy, and we are poets.
So some meaning is implied. Some meaning is implied.
Yes, we should use some meaning, some message. Okay, now I'd like to tell you there are basic and principles that haiku is based on. Okay, the first principle is, of course, its form, 17 syllable form. So in the first line, well, it's a strict rule. In the traditional haiku, it's a very strict rule to have 5 syllables in the first line. Okay. So 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables are in the third line. So 5, 7, 5. It makes 17 syllables.
And why does it have exactly this amount of syllables?
Amount of syllables.
Number.
17. You know, when haiku was first originated, when the first haiku were invented, they were written not in 3 lines, but in 1 vertical line and in 1 column of Japanese symbols. So a regular vertical line had 17 syllables, 17 symbols. So that's why 1 poem was 17 symbols, and 1 symbol is 1 syllable in Japanese. Okay? Okay, so strict to this form. 5, 7, 5. What about the meaning? So what about the contents of the poem? So we should use a seasonal word. Okigo. What is a kigo seasonal word? So every poem, not kigo. Yes, not kigo. It's a Japanese word, means kigo. It means a seasonal word. Okay, so what is kigo? So in every haiku, we have some words that refer us to a certain, a definite season. A definite season: summer, spring, autumn, fall, winter. So why it is so important to use some season in our haiku? So in Japanese culture, every period of a person's life is referred to a period of a year.
It's a circle.
Yes, it's a circle of life, yes. A circle of a year is a circle of life. So spring is when a person is young.
Full of strength.
Yes. So summer is when a person gets mature, has some experience, living with bright colors, right?
Yeah.
So autumn. What is autumn in person's life?
Decay.
Something dark, something cold, when we are freezing.
So when a person gets old,
Coming to an end, maybe. Life.
and the person faces what?
Death.
Death. Why
Yes.
death?
Death is like the final line.
Why death?
So
We always did something that we
he faces coming winter, and what is winter? So winter is
I think death.
yes.
Yeah.
Winter is like
Winter.
the
Referring to a person's life, it's purely death.
Finale of our lives. It's life after death.
It's life after death.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. Okay. So cold and white and empty is the winter is the death. Okay. So let us find in this little poem, in this short poem, this haiku, a seasonal word, a kigo. Let us find it. Let us find some words that refer us to a certain season.
Fallen leaves.
Breeze, air, fallen leaves.
So what is it?
Autumn.
It's autumn. How do you know that? Fallen brown leaves. Fallen brown leaves. It's fall. It's autumn. Okay. Now, and it's cold air to also.
Should we use this nature in the every haiku we try to?
In traditional haiku, yes. In traditional haiku,
Can
yes.
we describe just our everyday life?
Other things.
Yes, but you are a part of nature too.
Okay.
So you're connected with nature. So in haiku, you should use some natural element. Okay?
Okay.
Even describing yourself. Okay?
And what about human characters? Can we ever introduce human characters, or should we only straight to natural, I don't know, phenomena?
As I already said, a human is a part of the nature.
Yes.
So speaking of a person, speaking about humans, so you're speaking about nature. In connection with nature. In connection.
And what about nature in town?
Yes, why not? Everything that is out of our this space is nature. Look, now look, it's snowing now. It's very beautiful. Look at the window. Okay, so a seasonal word. So what is a seasonal word? Any word that refers us to a certain season, like winter, autumn, fall, and it may be, for example, blooming. What is blooming? Spring, because flowers bloom in spring. Okay, hot sun, hot sand under my feet, for example. Sun burning my face. Summer, okay, I'm cold and I see red leaves. Autumn, the wind is cold, yes. Snowflakes, icicles, winter, bare branches,
And maybe late autumn also.
late autumn. No leaves on the trees mean winter. Dagestan winter, yes. Thank you ever so much. Okay, so here are an approximate list of the words that can show us a season. In a haiku, it's very important to show the image, not to tell, but to show with sensory language, with sensory image. You should see some natural element.
Should it be explicit or implicit?
Explicit. Okay. Okay. So now, let us try to find some more kigo in the next haiku. The names of the dead sinking deeper and deeper into the red leaves. What season? Huh?
Autumn for sure. Autumn.
It's too easy for you. Too clever, too smart. Now, please try to find here a kigo.
Can we write on the paper?
Just find and tell me the kigo. Okay. Have you found it?
Yes.
Okay.
Too obvious.
She has a very good hint.
Yes. May.
So, okay.
Evident, too evident.
What do you
Also
have?
have to add them.
Now, your phone.
Harvest moon around the pond I wander and the night is gone.
So,
Harvest moon, I think it's late April.
It's autumn process. Autumn.
Oh, okay.
it's autumn, sure. Thank you.
And the night, it exaggerates
The circle.
yes.
The circle. Okay, now.
The year's first day, thoughts and loneliness. The autumn dusk is here. Wasn't it autumn?
Okay, now.
No one travels along this way, but I, this autumn evening, also here is autumn.
Okay, so yes.
In the sky is crying outside the hotel, how soon it must die. Summer.
Summer, sure.
Of name, time,
Beauty, but growing close.
Okay. Summer, why summer?
There are a lot of snails.
Yeah, sure, good. Now? It's still up there. Autumn moonlight, good. Now?
Night, and once again, the while awaiting you for winter
Into rain.
Like it shows
Loneliness.
it's
Look, what season it is? Autumn. Wind and rain. Good, thank you.
Why it is always autumn here?
Because the Zen masters wrote these poems when they were old. And they were facing death. Yes. Okay. A mountain village.
Mountain village on the field of snow. The sound is, I think it's spring, no?
Spring?
Snow, but there is a sound of water when the snow is melting, no?
Maybe. Early spring, why not? Very good of you. Okay.
okay, the first soft snow, enough to bend the leaves of the jonquil low. I think it's winter because it says soft snow.
Maybe December, maybe
Early December, like we have now. Okay. So?
In all the rains of May, there is one thing not hidden, but which it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's very difficult to define this period, yes.
I have clouds appear and brings man a chance to rest from looking at the moon. I think it is either autumn or winter, something like that.
Okay. Just between. Okay, just between the seasons. Okay. So the next principle is вторая задумалась у нас, отвлеклась. Okay. So when creating a haiku, we should use a concrete image of nature. So like zooming. So we have a big space of nature. But in haiku poem, we should zoom our attention, attract our attention to some small piece of nature.
Like with camera, we do.
Yes, like with camera, zooming it to show a small piece of nature, not so small maybe, but not this big space, right? Into one poem. So like, for example, flower or a snail, a leaf, yes. So what is the subject matter in your poems, by the way?
My clouds.
Clouds, yes. Pond.
Waters.
Pile of snow, yes.
The dusk.
Huh?
Autumn.
Something smaller.
Leaves,
Leaves.
rain,
Okay.
Ladder.
Yes.
snail,
Snail, yes. Worm, yes. And read your poem, please.
What?
Nina.
Autumn moonlight, a worm digs silently into the chestnut.
Louder, please.
Autumn moonlight, a worm digs silently into the chestnut.
So a
Chestnut
worm is walking silently in a chestnut.
Yeah, chestnut is
Look at this zooming. We see a small worm walking in a chestnut very clearly. Okay. The next principle that is very important in creating a haiku is give this image of nature a sensory description. A sensory description, it means using the language of our five sense system. What is five sense? Five sense. Sight. So seeing, hearing,
touching,
smelling, yes.
touching,
Feeling, yes, and
taste.
yes. So we should use this sensory language, sensory image, for the reader to feel what we feel. Just feel it, see it as we see, feel it as we feel, okay? Smell it as we smell. So, and here are the examples. So this is our five sense: seeing, tasting, smelling, feeling, hearing. Okay, next slide. So, like musky scent of the pine needles. So musky scent of. So what do you see here? Pine needles, color. It's green, right?
Yes.
So musky scent. You smell them.
Smelling.
Мускусный такой запах, да? Okay. So next, bitter taste of the morning air.
It's tasting. Yes.
Bitter, it's tasting, yes.
Morning air is
maybe
fresh.
Yes, morning air is fresh and chill, yeah, right, okay. And what about feeling? Then for it's unpleasant.
It's very unpleasant.
Okay, unpleasant. Okay, let it be unpleasant. Good. Okay. So, and what is more important, we should have in our haiku a shift or a movement. Well, every haiku is divided into two parts, the first part and the second part, and we should make a movement from one part to another, making a shift from one condition to another, like having an intriguing ending, an unexpected ending. But the ending that was not expected. It's a surprise, intriguing ending. So it is also, usually it is in the third line. Okay, so let us analyze a poem. Let us analyze it. So the dew of the rose flower, when it is spilled, is simply water. So, now do not look at this. Just look at the words, okay?
It's distracting.
Okay. So the dew of the rose flower. What is rouge, by the way?
Red
In
color.
French it's red. Okay. So the dew of the rose flower. What is the dew? Now, what do you feel?
Freshness.
So when do you have the dew on the flower?
In the morning.
In the early morning, right? So in the early morning, the air is cool and chilly. Okay, do you feel it?
Yes,
we feel it already. Now your eyes see.
It's very pleasant. Yeah,
We are focused on that.
satisfying. Yes.
And drops of water on petals and its cup.
Beautiful.
It's very beautiful, yes. So we see natural beauty here, right? Yes. So the water on the petals is very beautiful, right? But suddenly the poet distracts our attention to this part. When it is spilled, it's simply water. So when the dew with the water on the petals is out of the context, is simply water.
It's not beautiful anymore.
Dissatisfaction.
So the satisfaction is there. Now you enjoy it, this beautiful flower, and now you have an insight about it, that this dew is so beautiful here on the petals is nothing but plain water when out of this context. So the meaning is that when a very beautiful thing, a very valuable thing, it is valuable when it is in natural setting.
In some context.
Yes, in some context. When out of it, it is nothing. Like, you know, a piece of, like a piece of a concrete, like a piece of the concrete on my desk, for example. It is nothing than a piece of a concrete, right? So we can find it in the street. But when I said that this piece of concrete is a part of a destroyed Berlin Wall,
Some history.
it implies some meaning, yes. It becomes valuable,
Our
right?
attitude becomes more like accurate.
We are more attached to it.
Yes. I like keep it because it's special, right?
Yes.
In the context.
Yes.
When out of it, it's nothing. So we have there a movement, a shift. We admire, we enjoy, and then some disappointment.
Even when it is filled with
So from one condition to another, this movement, this shift is very important in haiku poems. And
What about the vocabulary? What about vocabulary? Is it necessary to use bookish words, or can we use colloquial words?
no. Well, haiku is translated from Japanese as light verse. Light verse. We use very simple language to describe simple things.
So
Simple images, simple things, and simple language.
Can we express like some philosophical problems?
No, it's not. It's light verse. Light verse. Just capture some simple ideas, some simple insights, some simple images. We describe it with sensory language. Philosophy is not for haiku. Okay. So the next poem, I would like you to show this tension, this shift. Okay. So now look at it. Looking for the moon in a lonely autumn sky, mountain, castle, lights. So, okay, now let it be the speaker. Imagine yourself in this environment, okay? So, what part of the day it is?
It's night or evening.
Night, yes. So the moon, night, okay. What season?
Autumn.
So we have a figure here, okay, autumn. So just imagine yourself in mountains on a autumn night,
I feel cold.
It's cold,
searching for the moon.
depressing,
And unpleasant, scary.
So are you cold?
Yes, I'm scared.
Depressed? Why depressed?
because it's
Maybe
night
you're looking
and
for
I'm
something.
lonely.
When you're looking for something, that means you're lonely. That means you're trying to get
So
something.
is it sky lonely?
No, it's
no.
a person. The person is lonely.
Yeah.
The sky is never lonely.
Okay.
It's
So do you think he's lost?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Huh?
Yes.
So
Yes.
does he feel despair?
Yes.
So nothing, just mountains and no moon in the sky. He's just searching for it. But all of a sudden, mountain castle light. So what appears?
hope appears.
Huh?
Hope is appearing, probably.
Hope.
Yes.
Very good. So the person is in despair, now a hope appears, right? So we have a shift from one condition, from one emotional state to a different one. So this moment is very important in haiku, and we achieve this with an intriguing ending. As I said, unexpected ending. But people who make haiku often use a very unexpected ending, not connected with the previous context. Do not do this, never. Because you will look like the author of this poem. Haiku are easy, but sometimes don't make sense, and all of a sudden, refrigerator. So, a very unexpected, right? But has no meaning, has no sense. So do not do this, okay? It will be very funny, absurd, and so on. So though funny, humor haikus also exist, like this one. By the way, alongside with natural traditional haiku, there are humor haiku like this one. One shark said to the other when eating a clownfish, "This tastes funny." See? So humor haiku are very popular. Yes. Okay. So. Okay, next. Let us analyze, please, the famous classical Japanese haiku translated into English. They're famous by famous Zen master Matsuo Baso, a famous poem. Let us analyze it, okay? What do you feel about it? On a withered branch, a crow is perched and settled, evening in autumn. So what is it? So what do you feel?
Loneliness.
Loneliness. What season is it?
Some trouble.
Autumn. Yes. And what part of day?
Evening.
It's
Dusk.
dusk, I think, yes.
Yes. Now just imagine two circles mentioned in this poem. A year circle, and autumn is just before the death, and evening is just before the night. So in the end of the cycle, it's doubled by the word evening and autumn. So a crow is lonely because we have one crow here. Yeah, this means one. It is alone. And look at the branch.
It is also mysterious.
It's withered,
That means you don't have anything. It is like you are
empty,
there,
emptiness, loneliness. Have nothing. You are facing.
Grass.
It's
When
also
Maybe
even
death.
though
Facing death, yes.
Yes, because crow is like
Okay,
trouble.
good.
Some trouble is coming your way. Maybe. Crow is
And
always trouble.
Just
It's a symbol of darkness.
okay. Do not look at the picture. Just imagine in your imagination how would you see it.
that's the way we see it.
That's the way you see it.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't look at the pictures.
In a monochrome color, right?
Colors in our
Do you see any colors?
blue, dark
It is.
Huh?
dark blue.
Dark blue. Dark blue. Huh?
gray and blue.
Gray and blue. Monochrome. Yes.
Yes.
Do you see coloring? Do you see colors in
No,
this
it's
picture? In your imagination? Huh?
No.
Not great. Maybe it means that before death, life loses the
All meaning.
But this is our perception as we see it. Okay. So the next, a very good one. An old poem, a frog jumps into the sound of water. Okay.
It is
So,
summer. Positive.
It is summer.
It is summer. Why do you know it is summer?
The frogs are always active in summer.
Because of the picture?
No, frogs are always active in summer.
Yes, right. Frog jumps into, yes, frog, it's summer. Okay, now just imagine an old, quiet, sleeping pond, yes? Nothing happens, no life, but all of a sudden, a frog jumps into water and we hear the sound of water. It jumps into the sound maybe.
It's like when grandchildren come to their grandparents.
Okay, very good, Adelina, very good. So life appears. And maybe these splashes, the splashes of water touches your
Skin,
skin, and you feel the cool water on your skin when you are hot and chill water. Okay.
It's very pleasant
Fun.
and
It's a
exciting.
very pleasant, exciting experience, right? So this is a sensory description and it's a sensory image. So the poet gives us. Okay. So next, it's very modern. It's very modern. So every full dusk, with every gust of wind, hatatagisu cry.
What is it?
Hatatagisu. It's a very rare and very beautiful flower. Hatatagisu cry. It's a Japanese word, and Japanese words do not have plurals.
Oh, okay. That's why crying.
That's why cry, not cries. Yes, right. Clever. Okay, very smart of you. So now, season.
It is fall,
Season.
it's autumn.
Fall, it's autumn. Yes.
Evident.
It's too evident. Yes, too obvious. Yes. Then, what part of the day? What part of the day? Dusk.
It's evening.
Evening, yes. So again, we see
Circle of life.
circle of lives, autumn before winter, and evening before night.
Two circles.
Two circles, it's doubled, yes. And Hatatagisu, a very beautiful, a very rare flower cries. Just imagine, what do you feel? Who does the author mean?
Gust of wind that means that something is happening that's
The
nothing.
beautiness itself, I think.
Huh?
No, I see the car.
Beautiful women. You mean beautiful women? Okay. Beautiful women cry. Why do they cry? They're beautiful. They get older. They get older.
The youth is fading.
So they lose their beauty. So their beauty fades. Okay, and with every gust of wind. So what is wind?
It changes.
Changes. But it passes
Yes.
through the air.
And takes away something.
Yeah, something that
Takes
you
something in you and takes something
Brings
away.
something new.
What is it?
Time.
Who said time? Okay, good. It's time. It's time, yes.
And why only beauty? Can't it be some opportunity that we
Why not?
just
So you are the co-author. So you also have your imagination, your own one. So use it and feel it as you feel, okay? So the author gives you just tips. Okay, good.
But
So
what is more important to make feel the reader to express his feelings or just to show all his feelings? What is more important in haiku?
both. Your own feelings, your own emotional state, and the tips the author gives you. Okay. Now here are the tips for making our own haiku. It's time to make our own haiku. We'll do it in a tip, yes?
Can we use kind of Russian symbols like flowers or cigarette or something like that?
Anything, in any language.
Why are you so short? Can we, I don't know, it's very hard to put all the words that are in your mind.
So it teaches you not to use extra words, unnecessary. So cut away unnecessary words. Use the words that are very precise to show our feelings. Okay. Yes.
can we use some evaluative vocabulary, because I do not see any words describing emotions, but there is so much emotion in that little form.
Emotion you should raise in your head, but the language gives you tips to raise these emotions in you, okay?
What about the other languages?
What?
Can we use haiku in the other languages?
Sure.
In Russian, how can
Sure.
we do it? In Russian?
In Russian it's very difficult. It's very difficult because the language is,
inflection.
yes, it has inflections, it's very difficult. For the English it's perfect. For the English it's perfect because in English we have short words.
Analytical forms.
Yes, no inflections, yes. Okay. Now here are the tips. We use 17 syllable form. We use sensory image. We choose a season or a kigo. Okay. We use a concrete image. We write in present tense.
Right.
Only in present, no past, no future.
You may use, but usually we use present tense. Just to capture an immediacy of an image, okay? It means it's happening right now.
That's why they're
Huh?
short.
Huh?
That's why they're short.
Yes. Okay. And we should use an intriguing ending. Okay. What should we avoid? We should avoid elaborate language. We should use simple language. And we should avoid cliches and rhyming. No rhyming, please. No rhyming.
Right or right?
No. No. Because when we rhyme, we attract the reader's attention to the linguistic means, but we should focus his attention on the images we create, okay? So do not distract the reader's attention to the means of the language. Just give emotional, sensory images.
I'm not a poet?
Huh?
What if I'm not a poet? Can I make up the...
Just practice. Practice.
Imagination is very important.
Yes. Okay, now I'd like you to make a collective poem. As a poem.
With you or just
All together, make it all together. We shall work in co-working, yes. Okay, so should we use some season?
Yeah,
Of course.
So you are all young and beautiful.
Spring.
Okay, spring. Let it be spring. Okay. So what kigo we will choose for to express our
Maybe flower.
sunflower?
Petal.
cherry blossom.
Flower. Something in blossom, right? Okay.
We shall
Will it be just a flower, or we shall give some name to it?
maybe a rose.
A rose, maybe.
Something so
A lily.
flower is so beautiful.
Huh?
We don't... I wouldn't give the name. Interesting flower.
Nowadays, roses are not only in spring, don't bloom only in spring, so maybe some
Spring flowers.
yes.
Like, for example,
like daffodils.
daffodils. In spring. Okay. It's too long. It's long. Too long.
Let's be just the flower because I think it is beautiful, but it's
Okay.
every flower is beautiful.
So what would you usually do in spring? It's a period of our life. So do we enjoy the life?
Yeah, we enjoy. We learn new things.
You learn new things, you are full of hope, you see your life ahead of you.
But we're also facing the
We
dark
are
life.
waiting for the...
But there's also this another side of life.
Yeah, doubts, uncertainty.
Yes.
Doubts,
comes next?
uncertainty.
We're frightened of future.
Do you feel it? Yes.
Sometimes
Constantly.
Yeah. Always.
Especially when it's time of the exams.
Yeah.
Okay. Early spring. Yeah, populism early spring.
It's like
Uh-huh.
tulip.
Tulip. Okay. So tulip or poppy, okay. Then, let us zoom on it. Let us zoom on it. So make it big. Okay. So what is it? Tulip or poppy?
Poppy.
Poppy. Tulip. Let us try to Let us try to describe it with sensual language.
I think poppy is, we should use poppy because it is more natural. It's not something that humans
Grow.
yes,
They
grow.
grow.
It's more connected with nature. So it's more spring-like.
So you said that you're enjoying your life, you're taking pleasures of life, you're full of hope, but you said that something depresses you.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Uncertainty.
future.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Okay. What will bring the further life? Yes.
Yes.
And what can it be?
Regrets? Oh no. Always regrets. Disappointments. Things you can't achieve.
You think you're not good enough for something.
Some mistakes.
Some mistakes. Do you ever think about the coming age?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Probably it is also the wind, something that is, I don't know, passing.
So do you have any line in your head?
Maybe some river or near the river.
Okay, flowers near the river.
Yes, yes.
Okay, a park near the river.
Yes, showing like.
Okay. Okay, let it be spring, okay?
Yes.
Let it be a spring.
Yes.
Okay, spring is, has two meanings and one implies another, right?
Yes.
Okay, let it be spring in the first line. So, what flower? Just suggest.
Poppy.
Okay, Batya?
It smells better.
Huh?
Tulip.
Tulips.
Okay, let us make the first line.
Okay.
And tulip.
We decided it will be poppy because tulip is something that is grown in the garden.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the coffee.
No, okay, can you phrase it from the end? No, I mean the end and then the middle and then the.
Okay. You'd like to start with the intriguing ending?
Yes.
Okay. So what are your suggestions?
Maybe something falls down.
Something needs to happen.
She said
Like in
the
every
river
something
because I
happens.
also meant it's something that is passing, and I think it is connected also with the spring. That's why I
So
like
Anita, you said?
River maybe murmurs or chatters.
Okay.
That's
You
what
just
sounds.
give a sentence.
Some outer.
because of this.
Give the sentence.
The river murmurs, chatters.
Sorry? Sorry? Spring.
Something like spring chatters.
Oh, okay.
Sorry again?
Spring chatters.
The spring or a spring?
It's just spring.
The spring, okay.
No.
The spring chatters. Why not? The spring chattering. The spring chattering. It's participle construction, right? Okay. The spring chattering. So, flower.
Spring chattering. Maybe we should use a petal.
To zoom on a petal of flower.
Petal.
Okay.
Yes, it falls down. We are facing adult.
So, we begin very cheerfully. The spring chattering. We enjoying the life.
And then we should have ending, unexpected.
Ending.
Not unexpected.
Intriguing.
Yes.
A shift.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. But the shift will have in the end.
Something is going wrong in the middle.
So you forgot about your flower.
Yes.
So let us make a sentence about the flower.
Maybe some of the petals falls into the stream.
To the stream. But let us leave it for the end, okay? Something unexpected happened.
A soft petal of flower. 7 seconds.
So no, why do you go here? In the middle there must be something connected with the poppy.
With the poppy. Okay, it's poppy.
Not flower, but poppy.
And then a poppy is a soft petal of A puppy.
Yeah.
7. Okay, okay. And soft. Very good of you, Zarina.
Thank you.
It's very gentle, we feel it. A soft petal. Oh,
A puppy.
oh, the poppy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Just lose there. It's okay. It's a poem.
Without the article, is it
Articles with the article.
Of course.
With the articles out.
No, probably the real one we didn't use it.
So, if we do not use the article, soft petal of the poppy.
a falls on something?
Falls
Stream.
into
The stream.
the stream. Что там получилось?
Yeah,
5
5
syllables.
syllables. Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so do we have a sheet here?
Yes.
Right.
It is
So,
zoomed on the
we are enjoying our life very cheerfully. Spring is cheering. And in the end, something happens. A soft petal, very gentle thing of our youth may fall down. It reminds us of the things that are transient, that are transcendental, right? Все приходящее, да, в нашей жизни? Okay. It's very fragile, yes. Okay. Now, your home task is to make your own. Make your own poem. Make your own poem. Well, just give it a very good form. 5, 7, 5, so that it can be diamond form. A diamond form.
Any season, anything.
Anything you feel and you want your reader to feel, okay? So share it on our website, our faculty site. Yes, and we, the teaching staff, will choose the winner, the best couple. Okay, yes.
Do we get
And
something?
the winner will get a prize
Okay.
personally from me. So thank you very much for coming to my class. Thank you. So for more tips of making hyper, you can find on my educational blog, Incredible Britain. Yes. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Так, научились чему-нибудь?